Today, we have a story about a man who ignores messages from his ex-wife, driving her to a mental breakdown. Enjoy! A friend I haven't been in touch with for about 2 years contacted me, and it sounds like things are about to get messy. Can I talk to you for a bit? Apparently, my ex-wife caused a scene at City Hall, trying to cancel our divorce. This is what I heard from my friend A. And I'm a bit shaken up. Alright, got it. First, give us your details to calm you down. Sorry, it was out of the blue and I'm really freaking out. I'm a salaried worker, turning 36 this year. I split with my ex-wife 10 years ago, no kids. Since then, I changed my address and never ran into that crazy ex. I've been getting message app notifications for about 4 months, but I've left them all on read. I'm not great with tech, so I thought if I deleted the chat history, it would automatically remove her from my friends list. So I was surprised when I got messages from her 4 months ago. The notifications were annoying, so I marked her messages as read but didn't actually read them. After hearing about my crazy ex's behavior, I started reading the messages now, and man, they're pathetic. I'll share some of them later. Hey, is it even possible to cancel a divorce? I looked into it just in case, and apparently it's possible in some situations. But isn't it impossible if too much time has passed since the divorce? It's been 10 years since I got divorced. Honestly, give me a break. I mean, what's the point of divorce if you can just cancel it? It's way too scary if a divorce can be canceled based on one person's feelings alone. How did your friend A find it out? Actually, friend A works at the city hall. We were friends in high school, and since we got out into the world, we'd occasionally check in with each other. But it had been 2 years since our last contact. Friend A knew her because my crazy ex was our classmate in high school. Apparently, the city hall frequently received different kinds of complaints from people. And friend A works in the department that handles those complaints, sort of overseeing everything. Usually, they receive complaint cards saying things like I was made to wait at City Hall, or they said I was missing documents, and they range from those to unreasonable ones like there are too many steps or the water in the restroom is too cold, and he deals with all sorts of complaints. Basically, they receive these feedback cards from citizens, and later provide a response to them. But apparently there are also people who occasionally storm into City Hall, and he has to deal with them directly sometimes. The other day, he got a call like that too, saying there was a user yelling at the counter and to please come handle it. Man, I'm getting excited. When he went to the counter, apparently there was a woman there confronting the staff. Is there a problem? I'm A from customer service. Don't ask if there's a problem. Wait, A? While looking at the relieved counter staff, the friend, who was startled by being called in by name suddenly, looked at the complainer. And there was my ex-wife. I didn't know you work here. Long time no see, how've you been? Oh, yeah. By the way, did something happen? It seemed like you were talking very excitedly earlier. Yes, guess what? I'm trying to cancel my divorce with my husband, but the person at the counter hasn't been listening at all. Cancel? I see, so you're remarrying? Hey A. You seem to have a higher position than the counter staff, right? Will you say something to them too? While thinking, say what? Friend A suddenly remembered. Didn't they split up a long time ago? Oh, you're getting back together even after what happened. Well, congrats. But I'm surprised he forgave you. But it's been a while since you got divorced, right? Then you need to go through the remarriage process, not divorce cancellation. I'll prepare the documents now, so wait a bit. That won't work. Huh? Why? I still haven't gotten a yes to remarrying. What do you mean? Don't try to understand it. Feel it. Please someone translate, I can't communicate with aliens. Seriously, what the heck is this situation? Anyway, even with the proper procedures, it's difficult to simply cancel a divorce when too much time has passed since the divorce. He told that and asked my crazy ex to leave. Then apparently she left dejectedly. This was what happened at City Hall the other day. My friend gave me a few warnings. She seemed to understand that the divorce cancellation wasn't possible. But she still seems to think there's no problem with getting back together with you. I tried to persuade her it was impossible, but she didn't look convinced. You should be careful. Has she come to your house or anything? No. I moved right after the divorce, so she shouldn't know my address. What about contact? Like email. I got messages, but I completely ignored them. I'll check them later. I see, it's easy to find people these days, so you can't be too cautious. Be careful. That's the conversation I had with my friend A. But still, it's been 10 years since the divorce. Deciding to get back together without asking me makes me sick. Didn't your crazy ex say I haven't gotten a response rather than I haven't been in touch? Haven't you gotten any letters at home? I moved, and I didn't tell my crazy ex or her family about my new address. It would be way too scary if a letter arrived here. Mail sent to my old address might get forwarded and delivered, but there's no way for the sender to know the new address. I totally thought the punchline was going to be that you got an unstamped letter. Everyone calm down, he said at the beginning that she contacted him through a messaging app, didn't he? That's right. After talking with my friend A, I hurried to read through the messages. The first message came 4 months ago. And even though I completely ignored it, messages kept coming in almost every day. I wasn't aware of the contents because I always deleted the notifications. Scary. There were a lot of interesting ones, so I'll introduce some of it. It would be a waste to keep it to myself. Every day, seriously? Let's start with the first message. Long time no see, my dear husband. It's your wife. A long time has passed since we've been apart. It was the most painful time of my life. Being apart from you, I was finally able to realize my true feelings for the first time. Don't you think true happiness is something you only realize after losing it? I'm certain you've had the same experience. Just as you are my happiness, I want to be yours too. Contact me, I'll be waiting forever. I see you read it now? Thank you for that. You can reply me whenever you like, I'll be waiting. That's what the first message was like, sent in polite language. How do I put this? She's an intensely crazy ex, to put it mildly. Right? Who would have a conversation with a wall every day for 4 months? Oh, so she's not normal. I'll keep sharing more. It's been a week since I sent the first message. I believe my resolve and courage will surely extend to you. Day after day, I keep opening the messaging app, waiting for a message from you. I see it's been read, so you've been reading it. I'm glad. You don't live there anymore, do you? How I wish I could hear your voice in person. If I could see your face, if I could touch your hand, surely your warmth would free me from this curse. But I also understand that my atonement is not yet complete before reaching that point. I believe that one day, when my sins are erased, I'll be able to hold hands with you again. P.S. If you tell me your address, I can come see you right away. I don't want to see her, absolutely not. She's only thinking about herself, isn't she? Your crazy ex is cursed? Funny. You can't remove cursed equipment. You know the rest, right? Hey, don't say scary things. Similar messages kept coming after that. I didn't thoroughly read all of them, but the tone seemed to change from the first messages. It was about 3 months ago, and here are the messages. You've been reading my messages, right? Can't you give me one reply at least? Are you that busy with work? If you're too busy with work, I think you should have someone else do household management and chores. I have a recommended product for someone like you. Look. None other than this cute and good-natured crazy ex-wife. Just give her a little bit of love every month and she'll devote herself to you. It's very effortless. I even offer a massage option for you who are exhausted. Hey, not enough with just massages? You really can't hold back. And a few days later. Could it be that you're employing the romance technique of making me wait and wait, only to finally contact me and make my heart flutter? Oops, did I guess right? I came to that conclusion after thinking about you 24/7. If that was your intention, I can only say your sense is impressive as expected. Because I can't think about anything but you now. As expected of my Prince Charming, I truly love you. But your princess is a bunny, so if you leave her alone, she might die from loneliness. Can't you contact me soon? That's how it went. What's wrong with her emotional state? I take my hat off to your romance technique. Let me call you master. Come on, tell us more. It's addictive somehow. There's another victim of my crazy ex here. A few days later, she became gloomy. Even if I don't get a reply from you, I will faithfully keep waiting. Because this is my punishment. But I believe that a new life with you will begin after overcoming this challenge. How do you feel seeing me like this? I'd be happy if you cared about me even a little. P.S. The happy days with you are now in the past. Will the day when we can laugh together happily just like old times come? She suddenly got meek. She's so self-absorbed, it's really gross. Your crazy ex is way too cringy. Come to think of it, we haven't heard the reason for the divorce yet. Well, although this crazy ex is sending these messages, the reason for the divorce was her cheating. This woman is amazing. Even though she was married, she was three-timing with 2 other men. At the time, I was busy with work and couldn't give much attention to my crazy ex. My wife was working part-time, but apparently she was fooling around with a young full-time employee at her workplace. Well, it was 10 years ago, so I think my crazy ex was relatively cute and had the kind of looks that men would like. She gradually started going out more and more, and stopped doing anything around the house. I found it definitely suspicious, so I looked into a lot of things. That's when I found out about the full-time employee guy, but as I investigated further, there was another man, and in the end, I made the 2 affair partners, Guy A and Guy B, who were originally friends, fight with each other and manipulated them to break up with my crazy ex. Then, when my crazy ex came back to me after being dumped by both of them, I filed for divorce with a claim for damages. By the way, the 2 affair partners knew my crazy ex was married, so I filed a claim for damages against both of them too. Affair partner A was married with kids, but apparently they also faced pandemonium. It has nothing to do with me though. Honestly, I didn't really care about the money, but it is the fact that money was the only way to impose sanction. But the reaction of my crazy ex and her family after that was unbelievable. She said absurd things like, if you get divorced, you'll definitely regret it. If you let me go, you'll never meet someone like me again. Even during the divorce discussion. When I said I'm getting divorced because I never want to meet a woman like you again, she glared at me like crazy. As for my crazy ex's family, or rather, my crazy ex-mother-in-law said, how can you say that to our daughter? Have you ever thought about how people will see you if you get divorced at your age? It's not too late to start over with her now, so stop being selfish and make up. When I firmly stated that I had no intention of starting over, she said, I'm saying this for your sake, you know? Even you. If you become divorced at that age, you won't be able to find a partner in the future, right? It might even affect your career advancement. I told her even so, there's no way I'm doing that with her, so please never contact me again. And declared that I would completely cut ties with them. There were other things too, like them pretending to be the victim even more because my parents were making her parents cry, and it was a huge pain. I thought I had cut ties, but the very next day, my crazy ex and ex-mother-in-law persistently called me. So I immediately started the process of moving. For a while, it seems they contacted my parents and demanded to know my address and contact information. When my parents said, if you keep being persistent, we'll consult the police, they finally stopped coming to my parents' place too. 3-timing, huh? You probably can't laugh about it, but she doesn't disappoint us. It's been 10 years since the divorce, right? I'm curious about the timing of her contacting you. Going back to the messages from my wife, she contacted me at every opportunity. It's Christmas today. I remember the Christmas lights we saw in front of the station together. What do you want Santa to bring you? Of course. I want YOU. I'll be waiting with the front door unlocked. Happy New Year. I hope this year will be a wonderful one for you, no, for the 2 of us. It's been cold every day. Don't you want to cuddle indoors on a day like this? I can come over anytime if you call. Cough cough. I think I have a fever today. This is lovesickness. I'll be waiting naked, so come to take care of me soon. I saw you in front of the station the other day. I was so happy and called out to you, but it was a totally different person. I miss you so much. I'm finally seeing things. I suddenly remembered scenes in dramas and such where they talk to their unconscious lover. I felt deja vu, so that's what it was. By the way, I have no memory of seeing Christmas lights in front of the station with my crazy ex. She's probably having me confused with one of her affair partners. Those kinds of messages kept coming, but the message that I just got the other day had a different vibe from before. Our promised remarriage anniversary is almost here. You remember the promise, right? I really want a response soon. You're reading this, right? Hey, our promised remarriage anniversary is coming soon. It's been 4 months since I started sending messages. And I really want you to get back to me now. Did my feelings not get through to you? I thought we could live happily holding hands until we become grandparents, but I guess it's an impossible dream because of what I did. I'm starting to lose track of my own feelings. Goodbye. I have no regrets in this world. I just slit my wrist. I'm feeling cold, save me, darling. I wanted to apologize to you one last time. Because I was the one who betrayed you first. What the heck is a remarriage anniversary? She betrayed me first? Stop saying it like I betrayed you too. I panicked for a second thinking it was bad that I hadn't noticed this, but messages kept coming normally after that. How are you as a person to not send a single reply when I'm earnestly sending this many messages? It's so wrong. My phone number is 000-0000-0000. So call me once. Let me talk to you directly. Is your brain filled with crap or something? Hurry up and contact me as soon as possible. I'll forgive you if you contact me now. Hey, you're reading this, right? What, is she an attention seeker? How cute. No, it's already reached the stage of stalking. She didn't mention anything about going to the city hall and trying to cancel the divorce, but what the heck does she want to do? Still, it feels like she finally showed her true colors. That's it for the recent messages, but I'll report back if there are any progress. I hope nothing will happen. Be careful when you go out. Your crazy ex might be desperately searching for you. You're right, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I moved far away to another state, and my parents' house is already empty. I was from a fatherless family, and my mother passed away last year, so I had the house torn down. There's no way my whereabouts will be leaked from my relatives. 3 months later. Long time no see, do you remember me? I'm the man whose ex-wife tried to cancel the divorce on her own. I remember. Any progress? Yeah. I received messages from her every single day, but it suddenly stopped a month ago. I thought I finally had a peaceful day again, but then I got a message from a mutual friend of my ex-wife and I saying, please, help me. Oh, this is a different guy from the one who works at City Hall. Friend B is married with kids, but apparently he recently held a drinking party with some old buddies. Then my ex-wife showed up, either with or without an invitation. Everyone was catching up over drinks, like how big their kids have grown, or how well work is going. When the party was in full swing, friend B left his seat for a bit, and when he came back, she was waiting for him. Actually, I couldn't say it face to face because I had a husband, but I've always thought you were gorgeous, B. Huh? Oh, is that so? Thank you. You're amazing. You work at a major company, right? I'm jealous of your wife. Friend B didn't feel bad being complimented. He laughed it off with a stupid grin, but, hey, wanna slip out of here, just the two of us? Let's go somewhere we can chill, she suddenly invited him, and he froze. No, why? Besides, I have a wife and kid. Huh? Doesn't it feel exciting to do something forbidden? I'm totally down for it. He felt he wasn't down for it at all. It was because that friend B knew I had divorced her, and he had heard about what happened then, so he didn't really want to get involved with her. Nothing happened and they went back their home that day, but apparently he keeps getting emails frequently from her after that. Could it be she switched targets? B, run away right now. And after that, you're the only one for me now, B. Forget about your wife and kid, let's have some fun. You live in the city, right? Can I visit you sometime? She even found out his home address that he never told her, and he got scared and contacted me. When I asked him not to involve me by email, he called me half crying. Seriously, I thought he was in danger, so I advised him to call the police when it comes down to it. I casually suggested he talk to the police, but for friend B, it was already a pressing situation. It seems he went to consult the police that very day. Considering your crazy ex's tenacious action, that's only natural. Apparently, on the day he went to consult the police, my crazy ex was waiting for him in front of his house. When my crazy ex was questioned by the police, she got panics and shouted something incomprehensible as she ran away. Of course, she was immediately caught by the police officers. Since no official damage report had been filed, she was just given a stern warning. But at that time, friend B got various things out of my ex-wife together with the police officers. Apparently, after divorcing me, she had got back with affair partner A. But it seems affair partner A got addicted to gambling and spent a huge amount of money, ending up drowning in debt before disappearing. My crazy ex had co-signed for his loan, so she had to make repayments. So maybe she was approaching me and my friend, hoping to get money somehow. Scary. Something incomprehensible. What was she yelling? Apparently it wasn't even proper words, so it was difficult to question her with the police. According to friend B, she seemed to have a mental breakdown. Scary. Be careful not to get stabbed from behind suddenly. I'm fine in that regard. Because I've already been stabbed. Sudden progress, I was expecting that. Are you a ghost? Sorry, that was a poor choice of words. The one who got stabbed, or rather, the one who got caught up in a knife-wielding incident was my friend A who works at City Hall. My crazy ex who appeared at friend B's place apparently came to the City Hall where friend A works again a few weeks later. He thought it was about getting back together with me, but this time, her target was none other than friend A himself. She said things like, "You're the only one I can talk to. Please, hide me," apparently. Honestly, it was a huge pain since he was at work, so he tried to turn her away, but then a real pursuer showed up. The pursuer was her mother. We found out later, but it seems my crazy ex had been approaching multiple men and selling herself. She was trying to use that money to repay her debt. It seemed her mother had just found out about it recently. My ex-mother-in-law had always been the type to be concerned with appearances so much ever since I married my crazy ex, so this time too. She was trying to discipline my crazy ex with extreme actions. Unable to bear it, my crazy ex ran away and sought help from my friend A who works at City Hall, resulting in attracting the attention from those around them. That was probably a mistake. Perhaps, both my crazy ex and her mother panicked. I have a bad feeling about this. Apparently my ex-mother-in-law took out a knife where she had been hiding it and yelled, "Come home." The people around them saw the knife in my ex-mother-in-law's hand and scattered in panic. My crazy ex hunched over crying. And it seems she lost control of her bladder upon seeing the knife. The City Hall staff were also shouting to guide an evacuation, and here and there people were yelling to the police on the phone. To put it mildly, it was a scene from hell. I can imagine the scene. Friend A had learned self-defense techniques for times like this due to his position handling complaints. And he easily took the knife away from my ex-mother-in-law. Friend A is so cool. What is he? But taking the knife away and letting his guard down was a mistake. Apparently, my crazy ex had snuck up behind him without a sound. My crazy ex snatched the knife from friend A. That was when he got a small cut on his hand. He laughed, saying he was glad the tendon wasn't cut. Still holding the knife, my crazy ex shouted, "I'm never going home." This all happened because of that guy I divorced. Bring him here. Talk about a misguided grudge. All I did was leave her messages on read. My crazy ex was immediately apprehended by the police officers who arrived on the scene. She was arrested for violating the swords and firearms control law. From now on, my crazy ex and her mother will have to live with people pointing fingers at them. Serves them right. They said my crazy ex is actually mentally ill, so she'll be busy with police questioning and going to a psychiatric hospital. And probably won't be out in society for a while. My ex-mother-in-law also got a stern warning for taking out the knife. I heard they already moved. Even though they were insane people, I'll miss getting messages from them. Good work. That was fun. Part 2 will be the showdown with the crazy ex fresh out of prison. Don't say something like that. Actually, there's more to it. A few days after my crazy ex was arrested by the police, a police officer visited my house. He said, "You're the ex-husband of her, right?" What? Questioning about my crazy ex? I was thinking what a pain to come all the way here for that, but then he said something unbelievable. Is part 2 really starting? It turns out my crazy ex had found where I moved to. Yikes. My crazy ex had a habit of keeping a diary, and apparently my address was written in a relatively recent entry. The police came to check if I had suffered any harm. Apparently I was one step away from being slashed by a knife. Prompted by this incident, I consulted with my company. I decided to transfer. Since I'll be on secondment, it should be impossible to find out my whereabouts from my workplace. Everyone, be careful too. If you keep ignoring messages you receive, you might get involved in an incident someday. The main character magnificently escaped from the clutches of his crazy ex. We can only pray that he'll be able to lead a happy life at his new place. Everyone, if you have any spine-chilling events happen close at hand, please let us know in the comments.